Hello, everybody. It's Stephen Paul from WinExtra bringing you your daily brief for May 3rd, 2011. And just as a follow-up note from yesterday about the election news here in Canada, not that anybody really gives a crap, including Canadians, bad times ahead for the internet technology world. The Conservatives won.
Uh-oh.
Landslide. Well, not a landslide, but the majority government. Interestingly enough, the NDP came in second, and they've got the most progressive tech platform, but they aren't in a position to really make any difference. But yeah, the Conservatives won.
Well, you may have to go lay your own pipe then, Hudson.
Yeah. Gonna have to do something, but it's definitely, I'm not one to watch politics in Canada. Really, I probably know more about American politics than I do about my own. Same with my wife. But, I think I'm going to have to start watching a little bit more because from what I've seen so far leading up to this, it's not going to be a pretty sight in Canada. It really isn't.
I think most people are the same. Most people, unless they're of the political bent, don't really pay too much attention to politics unless, it just happens across them in sort of a news sense. Or, like in our case, we pay attention to what goes on with the politics from a technology perspective, but that's about it.
Yeah.
Conservative governments usually are not good for...
well, especially one that's so friendly with... because you got to understand, too, that underneath this conservative government, you've had the telecom industry buying up television networks. You've had the CRTC, which is our version of the FCC, have its mandate changed to be more industry-friendly instead of consumer-friendly. This is the same government that we're going into another round of majority government with, and they've already come out stating with things like, ISP log retention and warrantless, police being able to see these logs.
Well, we've faced similar situations in other countries where governments have proposed these things and even tried these things. And, it's amazing how much power ISPs actually have if they want to. All ISPs have to do, if they really want to change things, to cause problems with people, is turn around and slap a massive $20, $30 charge on everybody's internet connection, along with a big letter that says, the reason this charge is here is because the government wants to be able to spy on all your information without a warrant.
Yeah, but we're talking...
It's amazing how quickly...
But you're... But okay,
it's not even the spying. It's amazing how quickly the $20, $30 charge...
But here's the thing:
these people rise up.
These are the ISPs in Canada that are going usage-based billing, and have gotten it.
Well, usage-based billing is one thing, but you see, when they wanted usage-based billing, they didn't want to have to spy on everybody. Because that costs a lot of money.
Yeah.
A lot of infrastructure to back up everybody's logs for a long time, 18 months or so.
Yeah. From what I heard, it was 12 to 18 months. I'm not sure on the exact number.
So that's a lot of money.
Yeah.
And if they pass it directly on to the consumer with a little bit of a hike on top of it for labor, and a big fat letter that says this is because the government wants to spy on you for free... that'll make people change, but you have to have the balls to do that in business. But we've seen ISPs take stands before.
Yeah, I don't see it happening, but well, who knows? Anyway, let's get on with some news here. Yes, I know, I see that at very the top. The Call of Duty map pack escalation is out. Woot!
It came out today, May 3rd, and I dutifully bought it and downloaded it this morning. It's 1,500 Microsoft points. I haven't gotten to play it yet because there's an unfortunate problem called working day between when I get to actually download it and actually play it. So tonight,
keeping with the gaming news, though,
where I will be all night long.
Yeah, keeping with the gaming.
Forget about me putting the show out on the screen, talking to anybody or doing any kind of work. I'm going to come on here for tomorrow's show all cleary-eyed, being up all night long playing it.
Yeah, well, keeping with the gaming news, word came out yesterday that Microsoft is opening up a new gaming studio. It's in Vancouver for an original core shooter game that is Kinect oriented.
Yeah, this is Microsoft Games Vancouver. They're a new outfit put together by Microsoft, and job postings and stuff, and of course them as well confirming it, indicate that there's a Kinect AAA core shooter. Now, by core shooter, we mean that this is going to be a Microsoft core franchise. Think Halo, one of these ones that is going to live and live and live and live. Well, at least that's the idea.
Yeah.
But this is based around Kinect, and it's going to be original IP, which means it's not going to be Gears of War. It's not going to be Halo. It's going to be something new.
Yeah.
So, that's all the details we have. It's kind of sketchy, but something to look forward to for Kinect players, especially more hardcore gamers who are waiting for something decent.
Yeah. Microsoft has released the Windows Thin PC release candidate. You want to explain this to the folks? What the hell the thin?
Yeah, this is kind of more enterprise orientated, but considering most of you go to work every day, you log on to your Windows computer, and sometimes in that case, we're always bitching and moaning about how these guys are never updating. You're all still stuck on Windows XP. Well, this could be what you see next in your work environment, because it saves the companies from having to upgrade the hardware. Basically, if they've got a proper server and network infrastructure, they can run this instead of Windows XP on their operating system, and it basically turns the computer into a thin client. So it's a computer that it handles the graphics and some of the processing, but stuff like your Excel and your Word is all running on a server elsewhere in the building. So you kind of get the best of both worlds, easy updates, and a better experience without having to use newer hardware. Well, just to give you an example, this will run on 1 gigahertz CPU, 32-bit or 64-bit, 1 gig of RAM with just a 16 gig hard drive and a DVD drive. So it's not it's not going Windows 7 on your work machine, but it's better and potentially safer and better for the companies too than XP.
I know I had heard in the lead up, I think it was the lead up to Mix or one of the other conferences, that Microsoft had been really being pushed by big business primarily for this.
Well, they did this before in 2006 and it didn't work out so well, because you must remember in 2006 was just prior to Vista.
Yeah.
And, obviously businesses wanted Vista coming out, but they did this using Windows XP CE Core at the time. And so that didn't work out so well. But this will basically provide you with a Windows 7 environment and, with App Locker, BitLocker. Yeah. You can even make it so that the person using the computer can't even write to the hard drive. So also expect to see this. This would be good for libraries as well, all places like that. Anywhere that has, decent enough server but aging hardware, aging computer hardware, this will help them stay a little bit up to date a little bit longer without investing too much more. They can put off that big hardware update that bit longer. Now, speaking of conferences, as you just brought one up, this isn't in the show notes, but did you happen to catch the Wired Developers Conference, or the Wired Conference on Foreign TV this morning? No? Awesome. Bill Gates, watching him for like an hour and a half while I was working and writing posts this morning, talking about like nuclear energy and not just nuclear energy, but renewable power sources and all that sort of stuff. And I'm amazed sometimes. Everybody thinks of Bill Gates and they think of computers and programming. Yeah. Generally, what you get with a lot of people who are very smart about something like computers and programming is that tends to be what they're smart about, and they don't really expand much beyond this field. This guy
is he smart man?
His stuff, man. About stuff, and I'm like going, what?
Yeah.
It was well worth watching if you ever get the chance to see him speak.
Yeah. I'll see if I can find a YouTube of that one.
It should be out there, but for obviously, it's not exactly Microsoft related, but anybody who's watching this show, Bill Gates did found Microsoft, so there's your tie-in.
Yeah, unfortunately, Windows Phone 7, man, it's It's having its share of problems still.
Dude, Death Watch.
Oh, I'm not going that far, but damn, I'm worried about it. Yeah, it's been stalled on the Samsung Omnia 7.
Well, this has been going on for a while, but Mike, what's his name?
Michael Stroh.
Michael Stroh on the Windows blog came out and they acknowledged on Thursday that they were having still more problems with the Samsung update, specifically in the Samsung Omnia, which I don't think we have here in the US because this story is coming out of ZDNet UK. But, you know, they're basically saying they're working on fixing and testing a package is nearly done, and the team hopes to resume update deliveries, etc., etc. So, yeah, but it comes back to this kind of thing as, you know, the update with the fix with Microsoft is nearly done. Then that has to go before the carriers. Well, thankfully, the UK carriers aren't as bad as US ones in that respect. But, I mean, this is another one of those, like, I mean, when we first started talking about Windows Phone 7 long before it ever came out, and we were discussing how brilliant a move it was to standardize the hardware platform. Yeah. I think we both missed at that time an opportunity to say that, you know what, they needed to standardize the software platform a lot more than they have, because it's becoming highly evident that with just relatively minor hardware changes by OEMs,
it's messing stuff up.
And software that they're adding on.
Yeah.
This isn't the same as delivering to a.
But is that Microsoft's fault, or is that the OEM and
it's
carrier?
6 of one and half a dozen. It's 6 of one and half a dozen of the other.
Yeah, yeah. On an interesting note, though, Blackberry is going to be integrating Bing services at the OS level.
Yeah. So basically, what this means is that we may yet be seeing another iteration of the Blackberry OS. We all thought that was going to go away, that they were going to go somewhere else. Obviously not. Old Baldy Bammer got up on stage at the Blackberry World 2011 conference yesterday, was it? Yesterday or today?
I think so.
Today, I think.
Yeah.
And showed off Windows Phone 7 before making this announcement. That doesn't really make sense, but he did. And yeah, so it's another kind of win for Microsoft. We're seeing more Microsoft services integrated deeper into phone OSs. I suppose, you know, Google is getting integrated into everything else from Android to Apple. So Microsoft is racking up a few points that way. Well, you know what? The way I see things going right now, at least with BlackBerry integration, Microsoft will have a presence on some phone that sells. You know.
Oh yeah, we had one feedback from yesterday's show about our comments regarding it was actually on the blog, because you replied to it.
Oh, okay. I didn't think it was a show-worthy comment. Okay.
Yeah, well, it's feedback.
The guy who wrote it now is going, "You bastard."
Yeah.
Tony, the time to write it, you decided it wasn't going up in the show.
Tony Gorham writes in, "What you talking about, Willis? Windows Ultimate adds a bunch of stuff. Pro doesn't have Media Center, but Home Edition Premium does. Ultimate gives you everything Pro has as well as everything Home Edition Premium has. I think that it gives you some encryption stuff too. I wouldn't buy it or recommend it. I get it with my MSDN subscription, but it definitely has different features."
We never said it doesn't have different features.
No.
What we said was that you shouldn't. A home consumer has no need for it. A home consumer shouldn't buy it. As you said, Home has Media Center.
Yeah.
That's it. There's no other features in Ultimate that a home user would really require. Not your average home user. Okay, maybe us as uber, you know, geeks and stuff. But even us.
Yeah.
For the majority of our machines, you don't need anything beyond Home for any reason whatsoever. It's not like an enterprise environment inside your house.
Yeah.
And I think also, he kind of missed the point yesterday. It might have gone a little bit confusing. We were doing a lot of bitching about Ultimate and the lack of features. But the main bitching point was that there was a lot of features promised that were supposed to ship after release on a monthly or a bi-monthly basis. And these were the extras that were supposed to come. And this was what you were paying for when you bought it, but they were supposed to come down the line.
Yep.
And we had the release of that crappy motion screensaver background thingy. I can't remember what that was called. Dream Scene. But after that, there was nothing. Nothing. And it's like, so that is what we were saying. These are the extras that were in Ultimate that never arrived. Obviously, there's differences between Ultimate and Pro and Home, but again, for the majority of home users, Home.
Yeah.
And of course, we're talking about Vista here, not Windows 7.
Anyway, on that note, if you've got any comments about this show or any of the topics we talked about, why don't you drop us a line at podcast@winextra.com or leave us a comment on anywhere where you were watching the show. And if that won't kick your bucket, drop us a voicemail at 251-281-8730, or you can send us a text message to that address as well, and we will read them, and we will not make decisions on whether or not they show up or not.
Do that every day, mate.
What?
Make decisions on whether or not comments are taken on.
I know. Anyway, folks.
Did you see some of the crap on YouTube?
Yeah, I know. God. Anyway, folks, have a good day. That's Paul. I'm Steve. This has been WinExtra's Daily Brief for May the 3rd, 2011. Take care and have a good one.
Have a good one, folks.